YouTube. This TX Crash One here once again. And this is a video for a pipe appeal, which if you haven't checked his content, you are missing out on a lot of stuff. He, without a doubt, he has the best pipe related channel on the internet, on YouTube. Beautiful cinematography and just a bunch of old rare gems, blends from 40s, 50s, and even some that are earlier. And he always captures such, there's just an atmosphere that he builds with each video that he does. And I highly recommend that you watch it, and I'll put a link. And I noticed it last minute. It's Christmas Eve, but I haven't been doing very well, and I just wanted to see if I can like hop in at the last minute and give my give my little stories and memories. He asked us what was our favorite Christmas blend to smoke, which I don't particularly have one. Oh, which I think I forgot to mention. I'm smoking a little boutique blend called Pumpkin King out of this. This is a Peterson Meerschaum. The Aboriginal shape. And it's a pumpkin spice flavored blend, which I think it's kind of fitting for this time with the cooler weather and such. But some of the memories that I had, unfortunately, I had a very, very rough childhood and upbringing, so there weren't very many good memories. Like, very many memories at all. If I were to tell some of those stories about my childhood, about how we spent Christmas, a lot of that teeters on the edge of child abuse. At least some of the people that I've told. They were never really good times. But I will tell one story that always stuck with me. And I'll probably give you a feel of sort of the atmosphere that was around my Christmas times. So I remember this. I was about 6 or 7 years old when this happened. Yeah, I have to give a little context first. So, growing up, my father, he had a very close friend of the family who was a mechanic, and he would always come and fix our cars here at the house for us. And the big issue was that he was a very, very heavy drinker. And I mean heavy drinker, I mean the man was always drunk. And it got to a point where he was very sick. He couldn't really like hold his No, he was constantly soiling himself because he couldn't really hold his bowels anymore, and he was suffering from a lot of illnesses in regards to the drinking. And my dad, he knew him for a long time when he first came. He'd known him since he pretty much came to the United States. But it came to a point where my dad was like, you know, I really don't want to affiliate with this guy anymore because he's a bad influence, and I don't want to be responsible if something else happens because unfortunately this man, his friend, he didn't have a family or anything else in the United States. He immigrated from Mexico. My dad immigrated from El Salvador. They were both migrants. Came to the United States in the 80s. And they had a really rough life being foreigners, especially in that time period where things were a lot harsher towards, let's just say, things were a lot harsher towards minorities. But we went through a lot. But my dad, it got to a point where he felt that he didn't want to deal with him anymore because he was a bad influence. And he'd always come over for Christmas. And I remember, it was this year, I was like 6 or 7 years old. And my dad told me, do not let him in if he shows up. Usually he would come by for every Christmas to eat dinner with us. And this time he said, no, I don't want him in my house anymore. And I forgot what we were doing, me and my brother. We were I think we were cleaning, setting things up for the house. Usually what happens is that we had some metal folding chairs that we had to store in our garage. And every time we would use them, we'd have to pull them out and wipe them down because they're all dusty and dirty. And so he was out doing that in the driveway, and I was helping him. I came in the house for something, and I heard a knock at the door. And I was assuming that it was my brother, but it wasn't. It was my dad's friend. And he was, I told my dad, and he got very angry with me. And he had threatened me afterwards. Well, not afterwards, he threatened me in the moment, saying he was going to beat me afterwards. Which was very normal for him. But no, he met up with him, and they had this very long conversation. I didn't really stick around for it because I thought the best thing was just to get away, and I went back to the driveway to help my brother. And eventually the two stopped talking, and he left. A friend left. And he gave him a plate of food. And he sent him on his way. Later that night, while we were all eating Christmas dinner, he was telling us what had happened. And his friend came, and he was very happy to see him, but he was also very, very sick. he was at a very high stage of diabetes, and was at a point where he couldn't really do anything about it. He had already lost a finger and part of his foot through gangrene, and he knew he was dying. And he came and he talked to my father. My father told him, "Oh, I'm sorry, but I don't think we should be able to see each other anymore." And the two had a very mutual agreement. That's where the friendship would really end. None of them were upset about it. Me worried that my dad was going to punish me for that. He actually, later that night, he actually thanked me. Because he said, if you hadn't opened that door, I don't think I would have ever been able to say goodbye to him. And then some time passed. Maybe about maybe about a year or two. And we were out. And we ran into another acquaintance of my dad who knew them both very well. And they got to talking. And my dad had asked him, what happened? Did he know anything about his former friend? Where did he end up? And what we were told was that he was interned in sort of like some sort of missionary hospital somewhere along the border. I don't know exactly where. Yes, he didn't. I don't remember. But he was in a hospital where he was being looked after by some nuns for the time. And that was pretty much where he spent the last few years of his life. At that point, he did pass on. And who knows where he was interred, because since he had no real family or anything, there was really no one to be responsible for that. So it was up to that hospital mission nursing home, whatever it was, to deal with him. And that was pretty much it. And it always stayed in my mind how horrible it is, especially around this time of year, around Christmas, to spend it alone. And it still haunts me to this day about what happened to him. What happened to him after he left? He spent that Christmas alone, and the remaining Christmases until his death. So, that always stays on my mind. And oftentimes I sort of think about it, and I wonder if it gets to that point, will I die alone? That's pretty much the biggest Christmas memory that sort of sticks out to me. And wherever he is now, hopefully he's no longer suffering. because I remember growing up. I remember always seeing them. And it's just something I always think about. This year has been one of the roughest years of my life. It's got me thinking about a lot of stuff. So, I hope going forward we should have a bit better content. And hopefully things look up the next year. And I am very sorry if I brought anyone down or anything telling this story, but that's just the reality of things in my mind. Well, that's just one of my experiences, and it's one of the things that I carry and constantly think about. So I hope you all enjoy the rest of your night. Merry Christmas, and I hope that you are all, spending it with people that love you and you love them back, and people who are there to support and help you not spend the Christmas alone. Take care. Farewell for now.